In February of 2007, I took off on an airplane trip and spent a week in Seattle by myself, minus the family. And in this clip, you are seeing the airplane journey as I started off. February, we have mostly darkness, so I get a little cuckoo. So it was nice to take off and have a trip or some time by myself. In downtown Seattle, one of my absolute favorite places is the Experience Music Project. And I've been there 3 times, and each time the exhibits are, some are there all the time and some change. But Heart's my girls, so I love the Anna Nancy exhibit on this. This trip and these clips are great. And I wasn't supposed to be videoing any of it, but I did anyway. The guard just looked at me and smiled, and I winked at him.
It's hilarious. Contract fashion. There's like a Vogue fashion spread. Fashion. Pretty funny. Larry Bud Norman.
In downtown Seattle, where the World's Fair was, they turned part of the pavilion into a children's museum. And in the children's museum, they have a science center. In the science center, they have all of this dinosaur exhibit. Children love dinosaurs. I remember loving them when I was young. And earlier in the fall, we had brought Phoenix down and walked through here as quickly as we could because we came in right before closing. So this trip, I took my video camera, went through and was videotaping everything. And even though we had been in there just a few months previous to this footage, I had forgotten that the dinosaurs actually were animatronic. And so I'm sitting there videotaping, and the thing went to move, and it scared me so bad I thought I was going to pee myself right there. And they'd have to do a wet cleanup in the dinosaur exhibit. But I love how they move and how they have the murals on the background there so that it looks like you're immersed in the dinosaur days. And the kids just absolutely love it, but I absolutely love it. When I was growing up in the wilderness of Alaska, all of these images were something that you only got to see in a 2-dimensional book. Never life-size, and then a 2-dimensional movie or video or cartoon or something. This little exhibit actually really brings dinosaurs to life, and I enjoyed it as much as the kid do, and I think that everybody should see it. When you move off of the dinosaur exhibit off into the science center, they have lots of different areas.
This is what it looks like at the bottom of the ocean.
And in those areas, they have all these different science type exhibits. It's like a great big science fair. So you can walk through this whole thing and view them all and interact with everything. So I was walking through it all with my camera, grabbing this footage and thinking about the fact that definitely I needed to bring Mr. Phoenix back down here. And now that he's a little bit older than when we went this time, I think he would really enjoy it. But there are just amazing things in here that
bringing Phoenix back here to do all of this.
Were so much fun to look at and play with and walk around and experience and touch and push the buttons on, and it was really exciting.
Naked Molerats.
First of all, it was really hard not to be an adolescent and laugh about the name of them. But it was a very interesting exhibit where the little animals are all running through the tubes. And it had all the information about them and questions and answers and trivia that went along. And they're about the ugliest little things you've ever seen. So it was fun to sit here and look at this exhibit, and there was kids ahead of me that were squealing and screaming and hollering and enjoying them, and I thought it was funny.
They live in underground colonies and eat roots and tubers. Naked molerats are rodents, gnawing mammals like squirrels and mice. Like ants, termites, and honeybees, naked molerats are eusocial, or truly social. They divide up the job of maintaining their colony. There are soldiers, housekeepers, a few breeding.
Coming up in this
Inside are all
footage
the butterflies.
has to be probably the most beautiful part of everything. Inside this whole atrium that they have here in the Science Center, they hatch out butterflies and call it the butterfly room. So as you're looking through the glass into this area, there are literally hundreds of butterflies flying around in this enclosure, and you can go through an airlock and go in and experience the butterflies firsthand. And as you peek through the window, it was kind of creepy crawly for a minute. I wasn't really sure if I was going to go in, and then I decided, what the heck, might as well get in there and get some one-on-one footage with the butterflies.
Looks so good in here. Look at all the butterflies.
Now, after I walked through the airlock and went into the main room, you could see families and kids and attendants and volunteers that were all in the area, but literally on every tree, on every rock, everywhere around you, there were butterflies. You had to be careful where you stepped. You had to be careful what you brushed up against. It was really seriously like being immersed inside a whole butterfly colony. And I really, really am glad that I decided to go in and experience them firsthand. I got some beautiful pictures on top of this footage that I would have never gotten any other way. And I really do think that if you are downtown Seattle, you should absolutely positively go inside this butterfly room and experience this.
When Robert was a little baby, he couldn't say butterfly. He said bye-bye. This is where they hatch. Hello, butterfly.
Downtown, I was walking around late at night and I took some quick footage of the fountain outside the symphony. It was just beautiful to sit there and listen to the music and see the fountain. In Alaska, our fountains freeze in February. This is footage of the audience leaving the Fifth Avenue Theater after performance of Anti-Main. While I was there one night, I got front row seat, sat front right next to the orchestra and watched the whole experience. It was divine, and the theater is absolutely beautiful. That was my little 2007 February trip to Seattle. Thank you for enjoying it with me and watching.